Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy sick-wayz here. Now, over the weekend, new video game trailer came out at the Xbox showcase. The new Invincible versus game. To be honest, that shit looks fucking dope. When I saw it, I was like, God damn. Let's check out the trailer really quick, give you my thoughts on it. We'll go over some other things as well. Just give my opinion on this whole game and what I think. Not that it matters, but hey, maybe I got a new perspective. Let me shut off my cam real quick. We'll go over this trailer, give you my initial thoughts. I've already seen it, so I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, this is my first reaction. Now, I saw it happen live, so it's pretty dope. I'm excited for this game, to be honest. Let's check it out. When I first saw it, I was like, okay,
ridiculous.
gives me comic book vibes.
Come on.
Then I saw the flash of yellow and blue, and I was like, oh shit, that's Mark. If you watch the show Invincible, you'll recognize those colors.
Had enough yet?
No, Dad.
And Omni-Man and Mark going at it. You got Vetramites. So at first I was thinking like, oh wow, is this like an action game? Like a superhero action game, adventure. These visuals look great. I love the animation. So I was like, damn, this looks really good. I'm a huge fan of the TV series. I fucking love it. It's one of my most favorite.
You understand why I had to do this.
So this game's gonna be ultra violent if you've seen the show. Had a bee popping up.
Propose a third option.
I'm not your son anymore. I'm the guy.
And then when I saw this head on head, I was like, okay, I get the vibes. It's a fighting game.
I trusted you.
Got a little clash. So I was like, oh shit. I think this shit looks pretty cool. Love the visual style of it. It looks a little stiff as far as the moves go, but from what I hear, it's still kind of a little early. They're still working on it. 3v3 tag games, so tag games are be popular in 2026. You got 2XKO, the new Marvel game, and this one. So this still looks a little early, but from what we see so far, looks fucking dope.
Ending you. I see it all now.
You got like these little cutscenes. Boom, looks like some type of finisher. There's been other video games other than Mortal Kombat to have finishers in the past. But
I told
looks pretty fucking dope, to be honest. As far as that game goes. My thoughts on the trailer, I was like, okay, looks fucking badass. I'm excited for it. I was excited for the Marvel game coming out, but this one makes me even more excited. Because I'm a huge fan of the series. I'm a huge fan of like violent video games like Mortal Kombat. My favorite fighting game series, so it's nice to see like a 2.5D fighter 3v3 that's violent. You don't get a whole lot of that. It's like super rare. It's nice to see one is based on the Invincible series. So from what I hear, what I've seen from other videos, it's the Killer Instinct devs. So that's pretty badass to know they're in on this, and they're good at what they do. Killer Instinct, I think it's the 2013 game. A lot of people love that game. So I can only see this as being a good thing. And, it can only go better from here. So let's check out just the website real quick. We put this bitch in full screen. So this shit looks pretty dope. This website, Invincible site. So it popped up, I think, around when the trailer dropped. So it has this animation. You can wish list, of course. Coming 2026. So all on current gen Xbox, PC, PS5. Of course. Gonna be brutal superhero combat. Pretty dope. Visceral combos. So here the combo system is gonna be pretty crazy, offensive and defensive. Excuse me. 3v3 tag combat, so that's pretty dope. You know, we've seen in the trailers. There's other gameplay videos. You can see the tag system. You got Mark, of course, the main character of Invincible. You got Adam Eve, Bulletproof so far. Tula. So there's only a few that have been announced so far. So of course there'll be more to come. Invincible has a lot of characters. I'm expecting a lot of characters from the last 3 seasons to be in this game. So that's pretty dope. I'm a huge fan of the series. So that's a website. Looks pretty dope. It gives you a little bit of information, nothing crazy. What else do we got here? So we got the Invincible versus you got Robert Kirkman, the creator of Invincible, and I think a couple of the devs talking about this game. I don't think Kirkman's in this, but let's peep this real quick.
You're watching IGN Live. Robert Kirkman's superhero epic made the jump from the page to the screen with a brutal animated series that doesn't pull any punches. Soon, fans will do some punching of their own in Invincible Versus. Here to tell me all about Invincible Versus, we have art director Dan Eder and combat designer Ripal Rip Parbu. Welcome.
Welcome, thanks for having us.
I love the art in this game. It looks really good.
Incredible.
I like
did want to ask
combat,
you, it seems like
their
this game
character
is a uniquely
design.
tag fighter. Can you guys talk about
Gives a
why
comic
that was
book
the right
feel.
fit for this game?
I mean, I think in general, when you're watching the Invincible series or you're reading the comics, the team format really stands out, right? You've got teams like Team Team, you've got Guardians of the Globe, you've got the GDA, you've got the Viltrumites. So just that part by itself, I think it naturally lends to a multi-team format versus a standard 1-versus-1.
And then, Rip, can you tell? We didn't really get to see a lot of the interface or some of the mechanics. Can you tell us a little bit about what the mechanics are for this game?
You have you repeat that one more time.
Oh,
it's loud in here.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the mechanics of the game? We didn't really see a lot of the HUD or anything like that.
Yeah, obviously it's a 3-versus-3 tag fighter. It's brutal action. It's very bloody. There's
like brutal.
overkills. But mechanically speaking, there's an auto combo system. So it's a really easy way for new players to get into the game. You can just do a combo by hitting one button repeatedly. That'll go into a special, into a super, and then you can easily tag and bring in your characters. And being a tag game, you want easy access to your assist, essentially.
I think I might play
so
this
our
more
active
than the
tag
new
system
Marvel
allows
game.
you to extend your combos using your teammates.
Gotta run
and there's
for the
also
money.
a two-way dynamic
That's
that
for
happens
sure.
across there because of our Killer Instinct background, where you're able to break those assists and actually stop those combos midway through.
I'm going to come back to that Killer Instinct background in just a second. But Dan, Invincible has a very unique art style. Can you talk about how you went about recreating that art style in the game and what else you did to kind of, invoke the comic of Invincible?
Yeah, I think because all of us are huge Invincible fans, we wanted to do the characters justice.
I like the character
overall
design.
aesthetic
Looks
of the show
really
was
good.
a
Looks
huge
pretty true to
inspiration for
the
us.
comic book
But
or
also we
TV show.
had to adapt to the medium, right? Like this is an actual fighting game. It's not an animated show. So there was a lot of decisions that had to be made with level of detail, rendering style, overall anatomy. Do we go realistic or do we go a little bit more stylized? So we wanted to capture a really
2D
interesting
style
2D,
art,
3D
so
sort of
that's pretty
hybrid
dope.
where the characters are for the most part pretty realistically lit, but then you have an outline, you have really graphic sort of details in the outfit, very vibrant color palette. At the end of the day, we wanted this to feel like an authentic representation of the characters in the show. And also the comics, right? So there's, thankfully with Invincible, there's so much inspiration and reference to pull from that made it easy for us.
So speaking of that Killer Instinct kind of, DNA,
it's pretty dope. The Killer
one of the
Instinct
first things that
devs
I
are
thought
on
when I
this.
saw this trailer was
Put
Killer
their
Instinct because
spin
of
on
the
this
hit
game.
stops, the really crunchy sound effects. Can you talk a little bit about how Killer Instinct has influenced the design of Invincible versus?
Sure. So obviously, Killer Instinct was a 1v1 fighter, but there's really a big impact in a lot of the hits, right? So we brought that over to Invincible versus. But really, the core of the KI influence in here is with that two-way interaction between offense and defense. So a lot of the times in Killer Instinct, what would happen is you could react to the combos, and if you're aware and you had the good reflexes, you could actually break the combos, right? At the highest level of the game, that actually got a little bit out of hand. The combos got really short because of it. But in Attack Fighter, you want to still have long combos and feel like you're doing a lot. So what we've done is just put those breakpoints when you call in your active assist to break the combo. And similar to Killer Instinct, we also have a combo meter in this game. So you're not really limited in your combos in terms of, this many ground bounces, this many wall bounces. You can do however many you want as long as you fit into that combo meter. And then to extend your combo and bring that combo meter down, you have to rely on your teammates to come in to bring that back. So once you're going to those phases where you're bringing your teammates in, that's when the opponent has an opportunity to say, I want to try and stop this, and I can react to that. But just like Killer Instinct, the other opponent on offense has the chance to mix you up as well.
So the trailer is a really good show of this, but Invincible is shockingly violent at times. How are you guys incorporating that violence into the fighting game?
That's one of the biggest draws for that show.
The bloodiest, most brutal Attack Fighter of all time. Right? I mean, it's bloody as hell. Exactly.
One of the very few superhero
it's amazing, and you expect that from this, right? But I think one of the big things we have in this game is the overkill system. So you are literally going to hit a superhero so hard that you're probably going to knock off a limb or two. That's just the way it goes in Invincible.
So satisfying where that happens, when you get the overkill and you get someone's head like getting just blown off. It's like mission accomplished.
So it's got like
it looks
a
like
finisher
it.
system.
Robert Kirkman, obviously the creator of Invincible, how involved has he been in this whole game development process?
I think Robert is heavily involved artistically, but also, again, as you know, the one who kind of put this world together. We value his opinion big time. We don't want this to feel detached from the source material. If anything, I think there's a lot that we can kind of use from his knowledge and find ways to mix it up, right? Like, we don't want to just kind of retread old ground. Like, hey, if we did this in the show, let's do this 1-to-1 in the game, because then I think that can get a little bit boring. But instead, we're always looking at ways to elevate it. And Robert is a very core part of that conversation, right? Because who knows these characters better than him? And Ryan and Corey as well, the other creators. So I think that's the good thing about being part of Skybound, is that you have access to that knowledge and that creativity. Once you blend that with
so they're gonna
the sort of skills that we have on the gaming side of things, with Rip and the gameplay
TV
and all,
series.
everyone else involved, and then on the art side, I think it sort of creates something that feels wholly unique, but also, again, feels authentic to whatever Corey, Ryan, and kind of Robert are thinking of. So that's really cool. It's been a real pleasure working with them.
So there's a lot of tag fighters in the space, Marvel vs. Capcom, Blaze Blue Cross Tag. Have any of those kind of served as your guiding light in terms of developing the mechanics, and can you expand on how they have or have not?
Yeah, so definitely, obviously, we have a tag fighter background in this game, obviously. But I truly feel like our tag fighter is unique because of the Killer Instinct influences that we've put into the game. And I think the cool thing now in the tag space, 2026 is looking like the year of tag fighters, right? It's looking like the golden age of tag fighters even. And I think it's so cool how these games have all kind of evolved the genre.
Marvel,
so you take that base of what you expect from a tag fighter and you add on to it, right? So that's what we've done here. The two-way interaction with the combo system is a big part of that. Also, the overkill of the blood that we have, the brutality in general, the destruction in the arenas. That, I think, is all very unique to our tag fighter.
I was wondering if they're going to have
One interesting thing I noticed is that Omni-Man is wearing his Viltrumite costume and not the typical, Omni-Man outfit that you would expect. Can you talk a little bit about why that is?
Dan?
Yeah. Well, so we are creating an original story for the game with the help of the creators again, which is really cool. So, how that's gonna play into the story remains to be seen. But again, we're always looking for ways to be creative with the characters and add some sort of added value for true fans of Invincible, right? Because you don't play the game just for gameplay, even though gameplay is awesome. We want people to actually feel like, hey, holy shit, this is a moment that I couldn't even imagine taking place between, I don't know, Eve and Mark. I think that's an opportunity that we have, because if you think about it, Invincible fans don't have that many opportunities to be actually hands-on with characters.
But still pretty cool.
We wanted to do something that feels really cool, but also feels like it's taking some risks, right? And because we don't want to play it safe. So when it comes to the story, we want something that has some sort of weight and drama to it, but also is something that the players are going to enjoy. Either you're like, even if you're not an Invincible fan, we want this to really resonate with people who play our game.
Grit, did you want to add anything?
No, I did actually. So he brought up a really good point. When I read through the Invincible comics, I got towards the end of it and I was like, I want more. Where do I get more Invincible, right? So this is the first full featured game of Invincible with Invincible Versus here, and you do get to see those matchups that you never got to see in the comics, right? So something like Bulletproof versus Thula, like what happens if they get together, right? Bulletproof versus Eve even. You never get to see any of that stuff in the comics, but now you'll get to in the game.
Speaking of Omni-Man, he has been a guest character in Mortal Kombat. I just wanted to know, has that had any influence on how you designed him in this game?
It's actually pretty interesting because obviously in that game, they came up with the moveset for him, and when we came to design part of it, it's like, well, what's this character going to be like? And obviously right now you've only seen him from the story side of things, so like, is he even going to be a playable character? We got to find out and see. But from what we've seen so far, I think it's pretty different than what we've seen in Mortal Kombat.
So really quick to wrap up, I got 3 questions that every fighting game fan is going to want to know. Rollback, crossplay, and are you going to be at EVO?
The important questions.
Rollback, yes. And speaking on the rollback front, obviously, Brandon Misak was also doing the rollback netcode for Killer Instinct back in 2013. He's the lead network engineer on this game as well. So you can count on the rollback being fantastic.
Nice.
Crossplay,
hopefully
definitely can be included. What was the third question?
Are you going to be at EVO?
At EVO, that's a great question. But, one of the things about our team, we really value FGC feedback, and it's something we've already done. We've reached out to a lot of the top influencers and top players around the world already at this point. They've given us their feedback, and we've already incorporated that feedback into the game. So we love feedback, and hopefully by the end of the year, people are going to have more time to get hands-on with the game.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. I cannot wait to kick some butt in Invincible Versus. We've got more IGN Live ahead, so don't go anywhere.
Yeah, so that one looks pretty dope. I think there's one more video here. Pause that real quick. Invincible versus studio reveal behind the scenes. So I haven't seen this one yet either. Let me like these really quick. Peep this. Maybe they have a little extra here.
Enough yet?
A little bit of the trailer as well. I like the visuals. I like the flashiness. It looks really good. Okay, there's the creator, Kirkman. Ooh, Max Dude. I know he had some input on this game. I know I saw on his stream that they asked some of the bigger influencers or fighting game people in the FGC, their input on this game. So I believe he had a little knowledge. Let me turn that up.
My first impressions of playing Invincible Versus was a huge moment for me.
Yeah, the gameplay looks really good.
Oh yeah. I've had a lot of really cool experiences. I've been on sets and watched my comics get turned into TV shows. But to see the characters of Invincible in a fighting game, I don't know, it was so magical and so exciting. I cried. I think one of the key elements to Invincible, be it the comic or the show, is the insane and absolutely brutal fights. It's kind of our marquee thing, and we do these absolutely epic battles that you experience on your couch that hopefully are blowing you away. But this game is really the first time that you can actually experience these and feel them as you're living them. And to be honest, some of the fights in the game can get kind of more intense than the things that we've been able to accomplish in the show, which is really exciting for me.
It's something that dials up the intensity of action, the intensity of violence, the intensity of combat. And to me, one of the most impactful things in a fighting game is your first impression. And that's the thing that my brain always goes to. When you press buttons, when you do stuff, what is the response?
Dude, this big dude. Oh my God, that assist is crazy.
And yeah, watching a character you know, a 3v3 tag fighter with so much gore. That's like the first thing that was like, wow, this is different. This is something I've never seen before.
It's like a bloody Street
most
Fighter.
Fighting games nowadays, you don't have the opportunity to create something completely new, right? Most of these fighting games that exist, they're very high in the iterative number of whatever their series is. And if you deviate from that too much, the fan base kind of revolts against you. They're like, dude, that's not my same game that I'm growing up liking. But in this opportunity we have, we can do whatever we want,
it's
right?
Nice that
I
they're
think
starting
what the
from the
FGC
ground
is looking
up.
for, kind of
that.
similar to what other people are looking for. It's just like, give me something new. Give me something I haven't seen before. Especially people that are fans of Invincible, they're gonna be like, oh wow, I've never seen it in this light.
I am ending you. I see it all now. Every single molecule.
I'm the narrative director on the project. That means that it's my responsibility to make sure that this game is a kick-ass story, that all the characters sort of like shine through, feel authentic to the Invincible universe.
Story mode will be pretty popping.
Not a full-blood Viltrumite.
There's a lot of fighting and a lot of matchup that are really cool. It really works as a fighting game, but I think the coolest thing about it is that there's a lot of matchups that never really occurred in the comic or the television show, and you actually get to see those in a fighting game, which is really exciting to me.
Building this game, it was critical to be authentic to the IP. So when you take a character from the show or for the comics, and you examine their personality, like the way that they move, the way they react to others, you look at what are the opportunities where I can translate that and really amplify it. A lot of times what we'll do is we'll break down scenes. We'll look at like, would they move like that? Does Mark have that ability? Would he do that thing? How would he respond to someone if they defeated one of his teammates? How would he introduce himself to someone new that he's never met before? Or someone who's quite familiar with, who he thinks is, you know, downright fucking evil?
Factor clearly gets active lifestyles. They're developed by dietitians and prepared by chefs, so they're actually good. And
sorry for the F-bomb.
Sorry, had a commercial
there. One of the things that I found it most challenging in terms of figuring out our characters and environments is how we make them feel unique. We do want the characters to have the same sort of body type, the same overall proportions, the same silhouette, but then at that point, when you get to that baseline, it's a question of how do I build upon it? How do I add those secondary, tertiary details from the rips in the clothes to the blood stains to the smaller details in the hair and the facial features? We want it to feel like Mark through and through. And that's exactly why it's exciting, because it's a challenge.
Skybound is a really hands-on company, and it just adds a level of authenticity that I think is kind of unparalleled.
So we're still doing some polish on it, but that's probably gonna be one of the bigger ones that we do. We really wanted to stand out with.
That's amazing.
I got to Skybound, and I was catching up with Mike Willett, and I just said, what was the happiest time in your career? And he said, working on Killer Instinct, Double Helix Games, making a fighter with the most talented people we know.
I said, hey, Patrick, I want to start another studio, and I want to work on combat fighting games, things that we love, things that are part of like our DNA.
And he's like, that's my dream. That's what I want to do.
We decided to call the studio Quarter Up. It pays homage to an era that we came from, like the arcade era. But it's really a statement that says like, we're here and we're up for the challenge. We got next.
I've been working with Mike Willett, our EP. I just watched season 1 of Invincible because he had mentioned, you know, maybe you should watch this. And I was like, the characters are there. They're amazing characters. They're characters that are going to really shine in a fight game. And so for us, that was a lot of the hard work is kind of, that part had been done already with the IP. Now we just need to make it. And so we started reaching out to everybody.
Essentially when Mike Willett calls, I pick up the phone.
I'm excited to see what characters they're bringing
I was
on.
aware of Invincible.
Probably Immortal.
Like, oh my God, what don't they have?
Maybe Duplicate.
Kaiju, superheroes, monsters, an elephant man. I mean, it's just like throw a rock, you're gonna hit something amazing. So
the clones.
It's good problems to have, right?
So when Dave and Mike reached out to me, I thought it was a pipe dream at first, but I'm like, oh really? They're like, is that a real thing? And I'm like, I am very much interested. Like, I am super down, like, I'm in, let's fucking go. And then that doubled when they told me the project, Invincible, as a fighting game. And I'm like, oh my God, because immediately as soon as they said those words in that sequence, like, I just started thinking of what we could do.
learning that all the same folks that put together one of the most impossible games, now one of the most well-received fighting games of all time, is working on another fighting game. It's kind of like a dream come true. The crew that put together Killer Instinct, that's now working on Invincible, is pretty much responsible for approaching fighting games with a different perspective, with something that wanted to give agency to players that were on defense and offense, to have you on a level of mind games beyond just what's going on in that one specific moment. They want you to think of what happened before and what happened after a lot. That's actually in this game too. In the 3v3 game, you sort of like can touch the opponent once,
it's an old
and they're
team,
toast, man. It's just it's Kaputski for that character. I really dig the fact that there's so much defense and offensive options in this game. But the commitment to having a full 3v3 tag fighter from, you know, a developer that hasn't done that before leads me to hope there's going to be a whole bunch of new concepts and things we haven't seen.
The process of building this team, it's been fun. But it wasn't just getting a bunch of all the old heads back together again. It's finding new blood, people that either are tied to the FGC or hyper talented and really passionate about their work and what they do and about the IP.
Fan art is actually how I got this gig. As an artist, I'm always gravitate towards characters that I find interesting. My relationship with Invincible was pretty much love at first sight, both in terms of the characters, but also just the animated sequences, storytelling, the world, everything just felt super unique. And one of the things I'm most excited about this role is the opportunity to take these established characters that you've seen in the comic and you've seen in the show and find a way to make them feel like an inherent part of the game that we're creating without jeopardizing what made them so great to begin with.
It's like you got
I've been a fan of Invincible since I was, you know, young. Like,
as a hero
I'm old now, but I've been a fan of Invincible forever. And I've been reading these comics like since the beginning, and I just know them like the back of my hand. And so there's all these like little tidbits and things that I'll pick up on that you might not even ever think about. And so a lot of times people are coming to me with questions like, where Mark can bleed from? Like, does Mark bruise? How much blood can we have? Like, where is that blood coming from? It's usually the orifices. It's always the orifices.
Mark?
Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today in Etheria Restart. It's been in development for over 3 years now. A team with a ton of pedigree, the attention to community.
Action. Is that right? I don't know. Never got to do that before. I've done a lot of weird stuff, but not that. How I got involved with Invincible Versus is a pretty crazy story.
Mike here, Dave, also with Dave, and we're going to be doing an FGC first look, very first look with Rip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rip is in the house.
I got invited over to Mike's house, like it wasn't like a studio or something. So I go over to his house, I knock on the door, he opens it up, I walk in, they have a TV set up there, and it just says Invincible on. I was like, oh, damn, we're doing Invincible.
Have you seen, dude? Oh my God.
I saw it super duper early. Like, you have to understand, it did not look anything like it looks now. So originally when I first played it, there was only 2 characters. It was just Mark and Eve, and it was supposed to be a tag fighter. So and then I remember I went home and I came back for the next test, and I was like, you know, I had this shower thought where I was like, you guys are the KI devs. Why don't you guys bring some of KI into a tag fighter? Because that's never been done. So then the next one I get a DM from Mike Willett. He's like, this could work. He's like, you should apply.
There's a little blood again. Which is like so missing in all the team fighting games in general.
I'll take a sip of water when I goddamn feel like I need to take a sip of water. I don't need you directing me on when I take a sip of water. I think this is just the biggest and best Invincible game that we've ever done. This is a huge fighting game that has a ton of really complex work being put into it to make it the biggest and best Invincible game ever.
The different marks from the show.
All of
wonder if those are
what
skins,
we got into the game. Every dollar gets spent into making the game better. We love the world that's been created by Robert, Corey, and Ryan. And everyone understands the mission, like what we're trying to do. Like, and just bringing their A game, bringing their talent, like every day. We want this to be a tournament quality game that's played for years and years to come. So the way that we look at it is it has to have compelling systems and gameplay and hype moments. It has to have art that is not just evocative of the IP, but will stand the test of time on its own. When the FGC gets their hands on the game, what I hope happens is they get a ton of excitement. They get to see familiar faces that they want to dig into. And critically, I hope they go, oh, I want to lab this game. I want to lab this game for hours. That would make me so happy. It's not just the hype and excitement from like doing big combos or the brutality, but for them to really want to dig into the systems that are there, because I think that's what's going to keep them there for the long haul.
Oh, that was sick. That was sick.
And I don't mean just satisfied or like, oh, that's great. It's like, no, it's got to be fantastic. It's got to blow people's socks off.
Just fucking die!
Damn. It's fucking dope. This shit looks amazing. Yeah. I'm definitely excited for that game. Really excited. Yeah, some our overall thoughts. That game looks really good. I'm excited for it. Pretty badass that it's invincible. Excuse me. But I think it's what the FGC needs. You know, it's kind of been a little stale. I'm not a huge fan of Street Fighter, Tekken, I've always been an MK fan. But I like to play little things here and there. But I'm glad Invincible's coming out. The Marvel game looked pretty good. This one to me appeals to me because I like the violence, especially from like Mortal Kombat. That's why I like Mortal Kombat. I don't like the super cartoony Street Fighter look. SNK, MVC games, not my style. Mortal Kombat has always been more my style. Tekken kinda, but it's been a while since I played those games. But MK1 I played a lot. I have more history of Mortal Kombat than anything. But this game looks really good. I'm excited for it. I like that they got input on individuals from the FGC and other content creators and YouTube channels, all that shit. So it's nice to have their input. That can be good, that could be bad. If people are more knowledgeable and understand, you know, gameplay and mechanics and all that shit, it could be a good thing. But at the same time, it could be a bad thing. But hopefully they keep things pretty liberal and open and just give us awesome combat. That's all we really ask for, you know. So I'm really excited for this game. It looks really fucking good. I can't wait to see more. It comes out next year, which is what, like 6 months away, you know, 2026. So could be early 2026, mid 2026. I don't know how far along they are. Of course, we'll probably see more here in the future. Like you got Evo coming up. Maybe they'll drop something then. Maybe the Game Awards. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, this shit looks fucking dope. So that's my take on it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll try to do more here and there. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, all that bullshit. Peace.